Alright, we're outside of Flagstaff here, and let's look at this dash stack again. You see the white lines above the O2 sensors? That's actually two white lines. What we're monitoring is throttle position sensor 1 and 2 percentage. You'll see that they track pretty close. Sometimes it's just one line. They're within about 1% of each other. The reason those lines are so important is most modern engines have ETC, or electronic throttle control. What GM does, now we're going up a hill right now. We downshifted one gear. So we're about 2200 RPM at 70. That's fifth gear in this Jeep. You can see our O2 sensors are switching really well. Our engine load's coming down as we crest the hill, and you're going to see the engine load come way down, and the O2 sensors start spreading out once we get over the crest of this hill. And there you go. Now, most modern vehicles have ETC, and the way GM monitors the performance of the ETC system, and the way we engineers monitor the system health, the wiring harness, the ground distribution, the power distribution, is by looking at these throttle percentages. Now, if these percentages were to drift more than 1 or 2% from each other, you most likely will go into what's called a reduced power mode. And there's lots of reduced power modes. There's reduced power modes that will just lose a little bit of power, all the way down to killing the engine. Sometimes it'll just go to an idle, other times it'll reduce engine power 50%. By looking at these lines, I can tell if the electrical system is operating the way it should be. GM uses two independent throttle position sensors inside the throttle body. They're both powered with a 5-volt reference and have two signal wires coming out, and they share a common ground. Now, in combination with that common ground, or excuse me, the low reference. Low reference is ground supplied by the PCM or the ECM, so that it can take a more accurate reading of the signal rather than using chassis ground. So they use a common low reference from the module, and one sensor is 0 to 5, the other's 5 to 0. They work opposite of each other. This way, if we have a floating ground or a weak ground, you will see those percentages spread apart. And once they hit 2-3%, you're going to go into reduced power mode. And GM is very sensitive on ETC reduced power modes. So this is one of the challenges that we have, and GM has, to keep it safe and at the same time reliable.